What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Leighs World. I'm bringing you a Call of Duty Black Ops game. The map is Hanoi, and Team Deathmatch. In this, I'm pretty sure I go for 13 kills and 11 deaths. So actually not a bad outing. Start off using the FAMAS, which is silenced. No, actually it was the Galil, silenced again. Personally, I believe silenced guns in games like Black Ops are priceless. And I also feel as well that, Ghost, I liked it when it came out as a perk, but the more I started playing, I thought, well, this is awesome, but is there a way I can get away with having a different perk in that slot? Just died pretty famously there. Yeah, guys, today I want to talk about the way we used to live. The way we used to live. Now you sit there and go, right, okay, well, someone like me, right? I'm 26. So 10 years ago, I was 16. Is the year 2001. So 10 years before that, 1991. So 16, 6. I don't know. So you sit there and go, right, about 1997 or so, I would have been about 10 or 11, and I was growing up with things like, the Sega Master System, back when Alex the Kid first came out. Freaking awesome, man. I have so many memories. You remember your TVs, man? There were no such thing as this flat screen TV, LCD, and plasma, all that sort of jargon. It didn't exist, man. We had our big block Kelvinator, and it had a little slider for the volume, and we actually had to push buttons. Like, it had a plate there, and we had to push buttons to change channels. I'll never forget coming home one day, right? I found this remote control. I found it at some dumpster on my way home or something, and it was all dodgy looking, and I found that its frequency was with the TV, and I had rollerblades on inside the house, and I roll past the TV and change the channel, and Mum, she's like, what's going on? What is going on? The channels, Lee, where did you get that remote? I'm like, oh, Mum, I found this remote, isn't it cool? And she's like, yes, it is cool, let's ditch it. And I'm like, why? She's like, well, we don't know about it, or where it's been, or, what it could be dangerous. It could, like, mess up the TV, like, blow it up or something. I'm like, alright. And one other thing as well about the TV, I'll never forget one day I had coffee on my hands or something, and I went to turn the volume. Obviously it's aluminum slider. Bzzz, slight little static shock there, so that that sent me into a pretty bad way. So yeah, there were the TVs and that. You remember, like, the big massive phones? I still remember having a Nokia GSM, and I also had one, I forget what it was called, but it was a Nokia as well, and everyone called it the Brick, because it was so freaking heavy. And the only thing to do on your phone back then was Snake or something. The very idea of, nowadays people check Facebook and, Google Plus, all that sort of stuff. Everything's on your mobile. In fact, I think a lot of people really expect your mobile to be like they use it almost like they're using a laptop. Like, they're just like, go on Safari and check for me, and and find that detail. And your average your average person is far more mobily equipped, I believe, than we ever intended as a society. But of course, people having addictive personalities, this is just how it all worked out. Like, I think you'd be naive not to think that technology was going to take over one day. Nailed that guy pretty nicely there with the RPG. Not too bad at all, if I don't say. And yeah, but what else was there? Yeah, so I was just thinking about all this the other day. What else is there? Right, cassette tapes, man. Tape cassettes. I remember having a boombox sort of thing, and it had a recording function on it. And what I used to do with my pocket money, I used to buy blank cassettes, and I used to record the audio off the footy, and I'd have it on both. So one tape on both sides would give me 4 quarters of footy, I'd listen to them on the bus because I was so addicted to footy, and I wanted to hear the crowd and the atmosphere and the commentary. I was absorbed by it for a long time, and I used to do it as well with Seinfeld. I used to get the audio cassette. I remember VHS. In fact, this is something I really regret getting rid of as well. I remember when I was first getting into Seinfeld and Just Shoot Me and other shows like that. Seinfeld's the main one I did it with, though. I would record. Okay, so you got 180 minutes on a VHS tape, right? I'd record, I think I could fit 5, maybe 6 episodes on one tape. And for a while there, I had 10 tapes because, I didn't even know what a DVD was. I mean, America did, but DVDs were not popular in Australia. In fact, I don't think we even had DVD players. I mean, why would we if we didn't have DVDs? Zing. But yeah, and for a while there I had 10 tapes, 10 VHS tapes, and I just used to rotate those things non-stop. They were in my arsenal of of things that I wanted to play. And yeah, even Walkmans, man. I got a friend actually. I won't mention his name, but I got a friend, and whenever I talk to him, it's like this window to the past. And he goes, I still prefer to buy a single, on a CD. And I'm like, no, mate, that's just not how it's done anymore. People have got iPods and iTunes and digital revolution for the win kind of stuff. It really is very difficult to escape from that. I must admit, I've got an iPhone and I've got an iPod Shuffle as well. But as far as my iPhone goes, I do agree with him a little bit there. I still use it primarily like a phone, and I've really struggled to get used to the idea that I actually have to update, so that I can update my iPhone. And yeah, I don't know. I just never really gravitated to that because nowadays it's not really a phone, is it? It's like your phone, personal diary, and everything else that it's capable of all in one. Actually nailed a chopper gunner off a 5-kill streak here. I got lucky because it was a care package, so I could have very very easily ended up with an RCD car or just what else, like a Valkyrie missile. But I got the chopper gunner. I must admit there is a bit of skill to the chopper gunner because I just had no idea what I was doing. I was surprised how much resistance there is, trying to get it to go where you want. Yeah, I also think maybe that some maps are just better. There's just more crap to protect people on, but I'm more than certain it was just me being absolutely crud and I couldn't get a kill. But I mean, if you look there, my cursor's hanging over the red dots, so I don't really know. I'd assume it'd tell me if I got a kill. And then of course I got blown out of the sky real quick. So yeah, and there was one other thing I wanted to talk about just as this video wraps up. I will be beginning Leighs World, a journey to Azeroth very soon, although I'm kind of looking for, I don't know, enthusiasm. I don't really have a lot for it, yeah, I don't know. But I'll say about music, right, I had a conversation with someone a few years ago, and I've always sort of remembered it and got on my nerves. They're not going to listen to this ever, because it's not that popular, and they wouldn't be interested anyway, but I actually get a revenge kill on that guy in a second. But yeah, music. And he goes, he goes, music, I like to listen to talented bands, no offense and stuff, I like to listen to talented bands that got talent. These guys don't have much talent. I listen, that simple stuff. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, you're right, it is simple, But, when was simple ever really such a bad thing? For me personally, I don't care if you're frickin' Santana and you're the greatest drummer in the world. You can hit 9,000 beats of, both your feet tied behind your face and your fingers are cut off and you just use your head and boom, 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 boom. Frickin' awesome. So what? Honestly, simple music. And to be honest, if it sounds good, if it reaches an audience, who cares? Everything has a market. Me personally, my life would be in frickin' tears about those simple little cheesy pop bands busting out their tunes on a weekly on a weekly basis in front of their local stage. They release CDs once every year. But in fact, one article I read for All Time Low, who are one of my favourite bands, they go, All Time Low, they're not doing anything different. They're not changing the genre or recreating anything. But as far as their music goes to the pop scene, no one does it better. And I fully agree 110%. Alright guys, this was Leighs World, The Way We Used to Live. This is episode 6. Like I say, a journey through Azeroth will be coming at you real soon. And yeah, like I say, I went 13 kills for 11 deaths, and I'm really proud of this video for game.